Morning and welcome to this 10-minute chat on the role of pain in behaviour issues. This is a huge subject, so I am just going to touch on a few elements of it today. And please bear in mind I'm not a vet, so if you are concerned that your pet may be in pain, your vet always your first port of call. So if we're thinking about pain and how it might affect behaviour, I think the first thing to do would be to split the pain into two categories, one which is chronic, ongoing, and perhaps lower grade, and the other which is acute. So speaking from my experience of Brandon, who is 13 and gets chronic arthritis, he's older and he has some ongoing chronic pain. How does it affect his behaviour? So just like you'd expect for a human being, if you're in ongoing pain, I think you tend to get tired more easily and you tend to present as slightly anxious or in we call a low mood or have a more generally negative outlook. If you are in ongoing pain, it tends to make you less enthusiastic and positive about a meal or going for walks. So if you're seeing these kinds of behavior changes in your dogs, as a human being, what we tend to do is think, oh, they must be feeling sad or depressed for these reasons. But I would always go first of all and think, is there a physical cause why my pet might be presenting as having a low mood? Because of course your pet can't say they've got backache or toothache, for instance. And clearly the two are related, but if we think quite separately about the role of acute pain, and if a dog has a condition which is giving them pain, there may be both ongoing chronic and some moments of acute pain. I think the acute pain, if it coincides with the dog's experience of another dog or a loud sound, or it could just coincide, they're walking down the street and somebody passes them on the other side of the road. Moments like that can cause the dog to build a negative association. And in particular, your dog may experience acute pain when the environment does interact with them in some way. So sound phobias can arise because the dog is in chronic pain and there are elements of acute pain and say a gunshot goes off or something surprises them and they startle. And clearly, if they've got a herniated disc in their spine or spondylosis, that's going to give them a moment of really severe and acute pain. Similarly, if you're an older dog and you've got a bit of arthritis, it's chronic and ongoing with moments of acute. If a young puppy barges you, you may get a twinge of acute pain and it may make you quite averse to seeing young dogs or bouncy dogs, badly behaved dogs. So that's how you get these really strong negative associations that build up if the dog is having moments of acute pain. And typically moments of acute pain tend to build strong negative associations. So dogs are unable to distinguish cognitively the cause of the acute pain. And in the dog's mind, it is as if the young dog or the surprising sound in fact caused the pain. They don't have cognitive reasoning in the way that we do, and it's a clear association. They learn by direct association. So they are not being drama queens or melodramatic. They are afraid that that other young puppy or loud sound is going to do them damage. So typically, if a dog is in ongoing chronic pain or episodes of acute pain or both, they tend to get more reactive or more anxious, or both, to a wide range of external stimuli. And it could be they start to get afraid of getting in the car, leaving the house altogether. It could be they just get dog reactive or human reactive in a way they've never been before. So what can we do about it? Well, clearly the first thing is to see your vet. And it may be worth taking some notes with you to really describe what you've seen. So the difficulty a vet may have is that your dog may just tense up when they're at the vet. And so the dog is not easy for the vet to examine. And in fact, imagine with a human being, if they had a herniated disc in their spine, on examination by a general practitioner doctor, it's hard to really diagnose that. And certainly when I had my first dog, Jess, she had a herniated disc in her spine. She had x-rays, of course, it didn't show anything. And we went to a specialist vet and she was thoroughly examined. And the vet said, I can feel absolutely nothing. The dog doesn't present as being in pain, but given the history you've described, we'll MRI her. And it showed that the disc had in fact completely ruptured and had nothing left in it to protect the vertebra from rubbing. So because I was able to give the vet a really good history, it gives them more to go on. So if the dog started showing these behavior changes at a point in time, you might want to think about what was happening at that point in time, how old the dog was, what their routine was like. And then you might also just keep some notes for the vet as to whether the pain and stiffness is worse every morning, for instance, or whether it's worse after exercise, whether their phobias, anxieties, and reactivities are building up uniformly, or whether they're targeted at specific things. So first step, always see your vet. And if your vet suspects that your animal is in pain, they may prescribe some pain relief. Now, pain relief may take a while to have an effect on those negative associations. So if the dog has built up a fear of other dogs because they're in so much pain, you take the pain away, they will still be afraid of the other dogs until they have a bank of experience where they're like, okay, I see the other dog and nothing bad happens to me. So sometimes vet will prescribe pain relief for 4 to 6 weeks so that we can see if the dog's behavior starts to change. Sometimes it will take trials of different forms of pain relief, and sometimes there is no pain and we have to treat for an underlying behavioural issue. But we really can't start dealing with your dog's fear of the car, say, without dealing with any pain that may have been associated with getting in and out of the car. So as we've talked, I've mentioned a few of the most common causes of pain that I come across. And I have mentioned getting in and out of the car a few times. For many of us, we like our dogs to jump in and out because it's convenient to us, and we may ask them to jump in and out of the back seat of the car, which is particularly difficult because your rear doors only often open 45 degrees and the dog has to bend as they jump in and out. Arthritis as your dogs get older is clearly an issue as well. And there is some really interesting research on pain and sound phobias, really telling us that there is more of a direct link there than we used to think. It's an unfolding field though, and there might be a piece of research that indicates something else going forward. So I hope that was helpful. And as I say, if you have concerns about pain, the first step is to get an appointment with your general practitioner vet. And if they really think there's nothing going on pain-wise, see a behaviourist. Now, your behaviourist may, after a few sessions, refer you back to your vet for further pain investigations, because your behaviourist may be able to see things in the ongoing behaviour of the dog the vet didn't see at that 10-minute exam. The other thing to mention is just to make sure that your dog is truly comfortable being examined at the vet, because if a dog's really, really tense, the vet can't tell what's going on. And post-pandemic, many vets are now offering happy visits, which enable your dog to learn to be more relaxed at the vet, which makes pain examination that much easier. Any questions or comments, please leave them in the box and I will get back to you. Thanks, bye.